You spend many weeks digging a burrow, turning it into a safe refuge in a world full of danger. But one day, someone else appears to take it. When everything is over, the home belongs to another. And sometimes, you yourself become the last meal of the new owner. Across the African savanna, a network of cool tunnels hides beneath the dry, cracked earth, a fortress in the scorching land above. But on this land, a burrow truly belongs only to the one strong enough to defend it. All that digging can be taken away in a moment. Midday heat pours down across the grassland. A ground squirrel family has spent many weeks constructing their home. A dry grass nest deep inside a dark tunnel, a refuge from the savanna's brutal temperatures. The mother squirrel leaves the burrow to forage, leaving her young behind inside, trusting the earthen walls that have sheltered them through their earliest weeks of life. At that same moment, a visitor is moving toward the squirrel's burrow. It builds no home, does no repairs. It only goes looking for doors already left open. That is the black mamba, the fastest snake in Africa, carrying within it venom enough to bring down any prey. For it, an unguarded burrow is an invitation difficult to refuse. The glossy dark body threads through the narrow entrance. The sound of scales against the earthen walls is like wind passing through the tunnel. At the bottom of the burrow, 3 squirrel pups are still fast asleep. The mamba moves into the innermost chamber of the tunnel. Its tongue sweeps continuously through the air, reading each remaining breath left in the thick darkness. One by one, the small sounds inside the tunnel go quiet. When the mamba leaves the final chamber, silence has settled in, welcoming the new owner of the home. When the mother squirrel returns, she stops short at the burrow entrance, the mamba's scent covering the opening like an invisible warning sign that this place is no longer hers. She takes a few steps forward, then freezes. From beneath the earth, not one call from her young answers back. Only an unfamiliar emptiness she has never encountered here before. The mother squirrel turns and walks away. No battle takes place. For her, the door to the home had already closed long before she could return. Now that termite mound belongs to the mamba, a home it never spent effort to build. But elsewhere, there are those who take homes without needing a single drop of venom. Deep in the oak forests of Europe, beneath a tangle of roots, a home lies concealed in the earth. Many chambers, many passages, more solidly built than any animal burrow on the continent. Its owner is a European badger, a creature of almost unbelievable cleanliness. It changes its bedding material every few days and keeps a dedicated latrine chamber, well separated from where it sleeps. Every stroke of digging, every change of bedding is a lifetime of the badger's devotion poured into this place. For it, that clean home is not merely shelter, it is a source of pride. But someone has had an eye on that home for a long time. The red fox, cunning but averse to digging. It covets the burrow while having no desire to dig a single stroke itself. The fox is not foolish enough to confront directly. It knows that inside the narrow tunnel, the badger is always the stronger one, so it chooses a far more silent weapon. It moves quietly to the burrow entrance and leaves its urine right at the threshold, then threads deeper inside, silently marking every wall of earth it passes. The badger returns and stops just inside the entrance. An unfamiliar smell hits it directly, a scent that should never exist inside the home of a species that prizes cleanliness. It steps in, then steps back, steps in again, then back again. That smell has soaked into every wall of earth. Finally, the badger turns away, leaving behind the place it once called home. Across an entire ocean, on the North American prairie, a town lies just beneath the surface of the earth. Hundreds of connected burrows belonging to families of black-tailed prairie dogs. Every morning, they take turns standing guard, calling to each other in sharp cries whenever danger appears. They live closely together and are rarely caught off guard. Among that bustling community, a peculiar resident can sometimes be spotted: the burrowing owl. The only owl in the world that lives underground rather than perching in the trees. The burrow the owl wants belongs to a stubborn male prairie dog who has poured enormous effort into building his home and guards the entrance all day, refusing to leave. The owl cannot drive the prairie dog away by force, but it has a weapon that few species would think to expect. It quietly presses itself into an empty burrow nearby. And from inside that burrow, a dry rasping sound begins to rise. That hiss stretches long and unsettling, identical to a rattlesnake coiling and preparing to strike. The prairie dog jolts and launches out of the burrow entrance. Underground, nothing is more terrifying than the sound of a rattlesnake. It has no idea that the one threatening it is only a small bird. When the ground goes still, the owl steps into the burrow just vacated. It stands before the room still warm from its previous owner, then slowly settles into its new home. But not every home taker waits for the owner to leave on their own. There are those who arrive while a home stands empty, and when the owner returns, what has been lost is more than just shelter. The house sparrow lives among a vast number of other bird species. It turns up everywhere, so ordinary that few would guess it is one of the most skilled nest takers around. When spring comes, a pair of swallows diligently carry pellets of mud to build their nest. Hundreds of flights across many days, all to raise a home for the brood about to be born. One afternoon, the mother swallow leaves the nest to forage, the eggs lying on a bed of feathers. She has no idea this is the last time she will see them intact. Then a brown shape lands quietly at the nest's edge. The sparrow looks down at the clutch of eggs, then calmly pecks each one and carries it away from the nest, taking with it an entire season of the swallow's hope. The mother swallow returns too late. The young she never got to meet are already gone, and the stranger is near the nest entrance, keeping her from diving in. The bird that built that home can now only circle in helpless loops, calling out into empty air, but nothing answers back anymore. Finally, the pair of swallows fly away without once looking back. The nest they built with 1,000 wing beats now cradles eggs that are not their own. After homes stolen, abandoned, and changed hands, there is still one place unlike the rest. A home whose owner has devoted an entire life to building, yet never claimed it as theirs alone. In the longleaf pine forest on sandy soil in the southeastern United States, a round burrow mouth opens at the base of a tree. Its owner is the gopher tortoise, the most persistent burrower in this land. With its broad front feet shaped like shovels, it works tirelessly downward into the earth. The deeper it goes, the cooler the air, beyond the reach of the heat and cold above. Before long, the first visitors begin to arrive. Season after season, countless creatures come to find shelter in the darkness below. At times, a snake coils just a few handspans from a frog. Out in the light, they are hunter and prey. But down here, every chase is put on hold. The gopher tortoise knows exactly who is sheltering around it, and yet it drives no one away, only moves quietly through the old tunnels, as though the home was always wide enough for everyone. Then one day, a wildfire sweeps through. Thick smoke envelops the pine trunks above. But deep underground, the burrow holds its cool shadow, sheltering the creatures pressed together inside. When the fire has passed, one animal after another climbs out into the ash. Last of all, the old tortoise steps out unhurried, gazing quietly at the forest, waiting to turn green again. Those who came before took their dwelling from someone else. The gopher tortoise did not. The home it lives in is something it made entirely on its own. In the longleaf pine forest on sand, that burrow stands through season after season of fire. Many generations of occupants have come and gone, but the home itself has never once disappeared. Perhaps in nature, the most enduring shelter is not held by the one who guards it most fiercely, but by the one willing to open it to all. As the darkness finally yields to the break of dawn, the African savanna wakes up in silence. A thin mist still lingers on the dry grass. Under the sparse acacia trees, the space remains quiet. There is nothing yet to suggest that today will be any different from thousands of days before. From the bushes, a pair of golden eyes opens. Though not yet moving, the body is already in a state of readiness, not because of danger, but because of instinct. This is a land where every species participates in a common game. No rules are written, but everyone understands their boundaries. The Cape porcupine, Hystrix africa australis, moves along a path it has memorized from many nights before. Each footstep is steady, without haste. A layer of quills covering from neck to tail reaches up to 30 centimeters long. They are not for attacking, but a defense system formed through tens of millions of years of evolution. This rodent is primarily nocturnal, living in pairs or small groups. They forage on the ground, digging for roots and tubers to maintain energy. Upon detecting a strange sound, the porcupine stops abruptly. The quills on its back rise in less than a second, a reflex that requires no thought. In the ecosystem, porcupines play a significant role. Their burrows become shelters for many other species when the dry season arrives. It emerges from the burrow, lifting its head. The air carries a strange scent. Something in the distance is shifting that only its nose can perceive. Not far away, under the acacia canopy, a young individual watches. Less than 2 years old, it is making its first independent hunting decision, marking the transition from dependence to self-reliance. The leopard moves step by step, hiding itself in the grassland. The savanna does not know that a script is about to unfold, and no one can predict the outcome. It should be noted that this young leopard is in the process of maturing. All its skills need to be honed through experience, sometimes at the cost of pain. The leopard, Africa's most versatile, solitary predator, capable of climbing trees, swimming, and adapting to almost any environment. This leopard lacks enough experience to distinguish familiar prey from prey that carries potential risks. It looks at the porcupine and sees only an opportunity. Each porcupine quill is a hollow keratin fiber, sharp and featuring backward-facing barbs. Once embedded in soft tissue, they pull themselves deeper with every movement of the victim. The leopard has speed, strength, and claws. The porcupine has an armor that cannot be pierced by conventional approaches. This is a match where strategy is more important than strength. The porcupine continues to move, unaware of the approaching danger. But instinct begins to register signals. The pace slows. The head tilts slightly. When the distance is 20 meters, the porcupine recognizes the change in its environment. It bristles its quills and runs toward the grass thicket ahead. The distance closes to 10 meters. The grass is still. The wind stops. In that moment, the savanna seems to hold its breath, along with the two creatures facing each other. The leopard lunges. The porcupine's reflex is instantaneous. Its back turns toward the attacker, quills standing upright like a living fence. But the leopard is too close to stop. The leopard recoils. 1 or 2 quills have pierced its front paw. It looks down, licking the paw, an action not of calm, but of confusion. The porcupine does not flee. Instead, it continuously pivots to keep the quills pointed toward its opponent. This is the optimal strategy after millions of years of evolution. The leopard continues to approach from the front, exactly the direction the porcupine is defending most strongly. It hasn't realized that the quill-less part is at the head, not the rear. The second time, the leopard lunges from a side angle. The porcupine pivots in time. A quill stabs into the leopard's cheek. A short hiss, not from the porcupine. The pain is much clearer than before. But during that pivot, the porcupine failed to maintain a perfect defensive heading. A part of its body without quills was exposed for a few seconds. Fortunately, the leopard was not focused enough to capitalize. Both sides stop. The leopard breathes heavily. The porcupine still turns slowly, patiently. Neither side wants to leave first, as the price to pay grows steadily larger. The leopard begins to circle. The porcupine follows every step closely. The turning circle tightens. This is no longer a simple hunt. It is a test of patience and technique. The leopard tries a third time, this time from above, attempting to use its weight to pin the porcupine to the ground. But quills do not distinguish the angle of attack. The result remains unchanged. In a fit of desperation, the leopard bites the porcupine's body. That was the final mistake of the day. Quills embed deeply into its gums and tongue, so much so that it cannot close its mouth immediately. With quills stuck in its mouth and at least 3 others in its paws, the leopard's ability to hunt in the coming days will be severely compromised. The porcupine does not linger. It turns away in its original direction, its footsteps steady as if nothing had happened. Its body is almost entirely intact. Porcupine quills do not inject venom. Their impact comes from physical shape. The backward barbs prevent easy removal, and infection is the greatest risk for the one stuck by them. The young leopard will carry those quills for many days. Some may migrate deeper on their own. With each passing day, the pain will teach it something no book could record. In nature, predators learn through failure just as much as through success. Every wound carries information that instinct cannot provide from the start. The porcupine's survival is not accidental. It is the result of long-term natural selection, optimizing a defense mechanism without needing to actively attack. After a few days, the leopard recovers and begins a new hunt. But every time it encounters a porcupine, it remembers that battle, making it reluctant to attack. In this world, no lesson is free. The remaining question, will today's lesson be enough to change future decisions? However, this species is facing a threat that no quill can defend against: the shrinking of habitat due to human expansion. The distribution range of the African porcupine has narrowed over several decades. They are forced to move through unfamiliar environments to find food and shelter. For the leopard, the threat is similar. Both species are adjusting their behavior in a world changing faster than evolution can keep up. What happened between the leopard and the porcupine is part of a continuous chain of lessons. Nature does not teach with words, it teaches through consequences. Both species will continue to exist in their own ways. One with perfect defensive armor, the other with a painful memory newly acquired. The savanna remains the same. Nothing changes in the big picture, but at an individual level, both leave with new knowledge learned from pain. There are no absolute winners or losers in encounters like these. There are only individuals who become better suited to the world they live in. The porcupine keeps moving. The leopard will try again with a different strategy and different prey. The savanna does not judge. It only records. After today will be another new day, each species continuing to play its irreplaceable role in a system larger than any individual. And as the light of the day's end gradually blankets the savanna, this land does not remember the names of any of them, but it keeps the traces of all. Afternoon sun pours into the Luangwa River Gorge, murky yellow light illuminating vertical rock faces covered in damp moss where space is suspiciously silent. A few kingfishers dive to the water surface, then dart up, only wing beats echoing in the gorge's quietness. Everything else seemingly motionless. On the cliff edge, a lion pride stands close together, heads bowed observing, eyes not on the water, but focused on the individual in danger. Below, among smooth rocks near the water's edge, a lioness struggles to climb up, claws gripping the surface, but continuously slipping, getting closer to dangerous waters. Lions are large cats dominating many of Africa's dry ecosystems. With male lions weighing up to 180 kilograms, they top the food chain wherever they reach. But all those advantages are designed for flat terrain. On steep, slippery rock surfaces, features once advantageous become disadvantages. The lioness weighs about 130 kilograms, pulling her own body up the sloped face. Gravity quickly overwhelms pulling force, making efforts extremely exhausting. She fell while pursuing prey over the cliff edge, a small miscalculation leading to a long slide, placing her in a life-threatening situation. On the bank, the lion pride still observes. A low roar rings out, but no individual descends, because they know this rock face is a one-way trap. Below, the female tries to grip again. Front legs find footing, but the surface is unstable, pushing force insufficient to hold the body, and she slides down again. Distance to water surface continues closing. Current position not only disadvantageous in terrain, but also conceals another danger. A small ripple spreads from downstream, not from wind, not from current, but a sign of a creature slowly approaching. The lioness recognizes immediately. Eyes lock onto two black points floating on water surface. Alarm, instinct activates. Sounds emitted carry obvious tension. Two black points motionless like rotten logs gradually surfacing, but hidden below is a 4-meter body. The real danger has appeared. And it didn't come alone. Ripples appear from different directions, all heading toward the same point, the cliff base where the lion clings. To understand the danger below, one must know that the creature patiently waiting has existed millions of years, with body structure evolved optimally for hunting. Nile crocodiles reach 5 meters long and weigh over 700 kilograms, and possess bite force among the strongest of animals still existing on Earth. Their tactics rely on ambush, lying motionless for hours, then attacking extremely fast, optimizing energy and ensuring high success probability. After locking jaws, crocodiles drag prey underwater and perform the death roll, inflicting serious damage, and prey quickly loses resistance capability. They can fast for months. Each meal is a long-term investment, so when there's opportunity, they'll thoroughly consume prey. On the rock face, the lioness understands the situation clearly. Above is an unclimbable slope. Below is enemy territory. Now she's trapped between two threats. She moves horizontally along the narrow rock strip, seeking climbable points, each step carefully gripping wet rocks, eyes not leaving water surface. Each step is hope, but also risk. Below, the crocodile pod maintains stable distance, moving parallel. They're not rushing to approach, only maintaining position and waiting for more favorable conditions. The lion discovers a lower section of cliff, but must cross a 2-meter-wide shallow water stretch, a short distance, but full of risk. She suddenly lunges down, racing quickly across the water. And in the same moment, a crocodile surges up. Jaws snap shut right where she just left, only one beat late. The lion grips rocks on the other side, struggling to pull herself up. The crocodile watches from behind underwater. This time escaped, but terrain on this side still slippery and steep, no easier at all. She continues climbing short sections, then sliding down again. Each time losing momentum, position gets closer to water surface, and safe distance gradually closes. The third slip makes hind legs touch water. The lion flinches, jumping back up, but too late. A crocodile lunges, jaws reaching for hind legs. The lion roars, concentrates force on front legs as anchor points. Shoulder muscles tense, resisting overwhelming pulling force from water surface. The struggle increasingly intense. The crocodile bites and slips. The lion escapes. The lion springs onto the rock strip, breathing heavily, while the crocodile sinks, carrying anger. The lion gradually tires and cannot stay in one place long. For crocodiles, that's a signal. They adjust positions, tighten encirclement, distance only, meters remaining. The lioness has no choice left. Cannot climb up, cannot stay. Survival space shrinks by the minute. She moves faster, abandoning fear. Each step, each short leap utilizing every remaining foothold on the slippery rock strip. The crocodiles no longer wait. They simultaneously surge up when the lion crosses the narrow water section, jaws snapping shut consecutively in splashing water. The lion reaches the final rock outcrop. Ahead is the only gentle bank, but separated by a deep water section, while predators have closed in from behind. She looks at the shore, looks at the water surface, then looks at three shadows closing in and jumps down. 4 legs touch water. The lion begins swimming as fast as possible toward shore. Distance gradually from shore, legs still touching bottom. But behind, crocodiles are accelerating. The largest submerges, disappears. This is the most dangerous moment. The lion nearly reaches shore. Front legs grip earth, pulling body up, but injured hind leg lacks strength, making her slide down, and that's all the crocodile needs. From behind, a crocodile surges up and locks jaws onto the rear section. Massive pulling force jerks the lion back into the water. The second crocodile immediately lunges in, clamping tight on front shoulder. 2 pulling forces from 2 directions make the lion sink half submerged. Only head and 1 front leg protrude. The death roll begins. Lion's body dragged completely under. Water surface churns violently, then gradually settles, returning to initial calm. Water surface returns to stillness. No more sounds or movement, only a few small ripples fading on the surface. The grassland ruler has sunk from here. Above, the lion pride stands silent. Calling sounds echo down, no response. Only wind blowing through the gorge echoes back. After several tries, they fall silent. After a few minutes, one by one, leaves the cliff edge. They leave without looking back. On the plains, prolonging loss is also putting oneself at risk. Below the Luangwa River, crocodiles drag prey to the deep bottom, holding it for natural decomposition process before beginning the meal. Nile crocodiles can fast for months, and today's meal is a 130-kilogram lioness, enough to feed them for many weeks. The confrontation closes according to environmental law. When entering water, advantage belongs to water-adapted creatures. On that territory, all land advantages lose value. The lion pride loses a member. Movement rhythm and behavior will change in following days, reflecting adjustment to risk. Dusk arrives. Landscape returns to familiar state, leaving almost no clear traces of the event just occurred. The lion pride stops to rest in tall grass area, far from the river. They lie closer together, the gap of one individual becoming obvious in the silent formation. Each encounter leaves marks in blood. Later decisions will change through reflexes formed from experience. Below the river, crocodiles continue moving slowly. Eyes, nose protruding, then sinking back. The observation cycle and endless patience count again from the start. In the Luangwa ecosystem, lions and crocodiles share the food chain apex, each species dominating half the world. When boundaries are erased, advantage belongs to the side adapting better to conditions at that moment. Each rainy season, water rises. Dry season, water recedes. Boundaries continuously change. Encounters repeat. No permanent winner, only temporary adaptation. Today's lioness didn't fail from lack of strength. On land, she's the ruler. But when conditions change, mass and body structure itself become disadvantages. Conversely, crocodiles don't need to be faster or stronger in all circumstances. They only need the right environment, where their advantages are maximized. Sun sets over Luangwa. On shore, lions rest in tall grass. Below water, crocodiles hide. Two parallel worlds, meters apart, but deciding survival. Tomorrow morning, though one individual fewer, the lion pride's rhythm doesn't stop. They'll avoid the riverbank, continue hunting on grasslands, and remember dangerous boundaries. Night wind blows through the gorge, carrying scents of mud and damp grass. Traces on rocks gradually disappear. Bank edge returns as before. Nature erases what once occurred. Under moonlight, crocodiles hide in flat water. In a world where mistakes mean endings, silence sometimes is the sign of danger itself. Early morning on the African savanna. The air isn't hot yet, but right beneath the ground, life began moving long ago. This is not the land of the strongest, but of the most dangerous. And that boundary is sometimes only a few millimeters long, the length of a fang. Every morning here begins with silent calculations. Who eats whom, who avoids whom, and who carries a weapon that the enemy never sees. Africa has hundreds of venomous species. Many are smaller than a hand, but size doesn't matter. Venom only needs enough time to take effect. This is a biological weapon refined by nature over millions of years. Not for indiscriminate attacks, but to terminate a target with ultimate precision. In nature, two main mechanisms exist. One type attacks the nervous system, fast and silent. The other destroys tissue and blood, slower but harder to stop. The first group is neurotoxins. They don't need strength, just a single touch. And from that moment, time begins to work against the victim. The black mamba is the most typical representative of this group. Up to 4.5 meters long, ground movement speed can reach 20 kilometers per hour. No species escapes faster than it. When threatened, the black mamba raises its forebody, revealing an inky black mouth. It's not a display, but a final warning before attacking. The cobra chooses a different way. It spits venom into the eyes from a distance, causing almost instant blindness. No need to approach, giving the opponent no chance to react. The other group uses hemotoxin. Death does not come immediately, but lingers over time as the body is gradually destroyed from within. The bush viper is the most common hemotoxin carrier in Africa. Though it lacks speed and range, in the savanna, no one sees it before it's too late. The afternoon here changes in ways that are hard to notice. The temperature drops, shadows begin to lengthen, and on a small rock near the forest edge, something is waiting. A field mouse is moving close to the grass, completely normal behavior, foraging, observing, pausing. But nearby, a pair of eyes is watching. Venom doesn't require the host to be large. It requires patience. And on this savanna, patience is something that has been honed over a vast amount of time. To understand what is about to happen, one must know what that moving creature can cause. And the answer, in truth, is terrifyingly simple. The emperor scorpion looks big and heavy, but it isn't the most dangerous. The scarier species are often smaller, yellow, and nearly vanish into the sand. The deathstalker scorpion is much smaller, but its venom is extremely potent, acting simultaneously on the victim's heart and central nervous system. In the twilight, it stands perfectly still. No threat, no attack. Just existing, with its curved tail behind it already dangerous enough. The bush viper is not as fast as the mamba, but it hides perfectly. No sound, no movement, and when it strikes, everything ends in less than 0.25 seconds. The viper's jaw has a special folding mechanism. When attacking, the fangs spring out like hypodermic needles, piercing deep into the tissue and pumping venom directly into the body. Hemotoxin destroys red blood cells and the ability for blood to clot. Victims do not die from the wound. They die because the blood no longer has the ability to clot. The mouse stands still, unaware that it has fallen into the crosshairs. The snake doesn't need to see or hear. It only needs to sense the heat from the prey's body. No need to see or hear, just a temperature difference. Anything warmer than the environment becomes a target. Because of this, the viper causes the most deaths each year. The distance is less than 30 centimeters. The mouse stops, then takes another step, and the snake remains motionless, waiting for the exact moment to strike. In less than half a second, the fangs spring out, embedding deep and pumping venom into the prey's body. Everything happens so fast, it is almost impossible to perceive. The mouse recoils, pain reflexes triggered, but the venom is already in the blood. From that moment, the internal destruction process begins. The viper does not give chase. Within 10 to 20 minutes, the prey will begin to lose orientation. The snake only needs to follow the remaining heat trail. Elsewhere, a small spider also carries its own venom, enough to destroy tissue from within in a slower but no less dangerous way. A brown spider bite is almost painless at first. The victim often doesn't realize it until the skin area begins to necrose hours later. Neurotoxins strike the body's control system quickly. Hemotoxins destroy from within, slower but more prolonged and harder to control. Afternoon has arrived. The viper still lies still, not moving, but its body still silently monitors every change around it. The mouse begins to move more slowly. Hemotoxin has begun to take effect. The body is losing coordination. This is the final sign the predator is waiting for. The viper begins to move, not rushing, each step precise along the heat trail. This is the process of retrieving what already belonged to it after the previous attack. The viper is not the strongest nor the fastest, but hemotoxin allows it to take down prey larger than its body without needing a direct confrontation. After all, the savanna is silent again. Not a peace, but a balance re-established after every encounter. The viper returns to its familiar spot. It will rest for many days to digest, but the venom has already begun to regenerate, starting now. Not far away, a black mamba glides across the high ground. On the same savanna, many venom mechanisms coexist without the species being aware of each other. The mamba does not actively attack, but when cornered, it can bite repeatedly, each time dangerous enough to take down large prey. Its venom attacks the nervous system, causing the body to gradually shut down. The victim remains conscious, but loses the ability to breathe in silence. The cobra chooses another way. Its venom combines neurotoxins and tissue destruction, and it can spit from a distance without touching the opponent. In the twilight, it faces a meerkat. Both stand still. The distance remains the same, but the advantage is leaning toward the snake. In the world of venom, danger does not always lie with the largest. The small, hard-to-see species often pose the greatest risk. The yellow-tailed scorpion is very small, but carries potent neurotoxins. Just one sting is enough to be dangerous if not treated in time. This third killer, it doesn't hunt with speed or ambush. The scorpion exists by becoming invisible, and in the darkness, invisibility is the perfect tactic. At the same time, the black mamba begins to move. This is the time it operates most effectively on the savanna. Nearby, a mongoose appears. It has a partial resistance to venom, but it is not immune. Every mistake still carries a price. The black mamba detects the mongoose and stops. It raises its head to observe, not hiding. This is a calculating posture, only deciding to attack when the moment is clear. The mongoose also circles the snake. Both sides look at each other for a few seconds, enough to understand the opponent. It has venom resistance, but that doesn't make the mamba back down. The mamba strikes. Quick, clean, only the head and neck lunging forward. The bite is precise, venom entering the blood almost instantly. There is no chance for correction. The mongoose runs around, its body reacting immediately to the venom. But the mamba does not chase. It stands still, watching. To it, one precise strike is enough. The mamba turns its head, disappearing into the darkness. No rush. Behind it, the mongoose has recovered. Its body fought off a dose of venom that wasn't enough to kill. The savanna returns to its familiar rhythm. There are no absolute winners, only species that continue to exist in the way that suits them best. The viper is still coiled there. The scorpion moves on the ground nearby. The mamba has disappeared. 3 species, 3 ways of existing, and no species needs to be the largest. Looking at the viper in the night, no aggression is seen, only absolute patience. And sometimes it is the waiting itself that is most dangerous. Venom is not a weapon of destruction. It is a tool of balance. Each species controls another, creating a system where everything is closely linked. Every year there are thousands of deaths due to snakes, but they themselves also prevent many pathogens from spreading. In nature, nothing is simple. The African night is not truly silent. It is only quieter to human senses. Under rocks, in the grass, under the sand, everything is still operating. There are no names for what takes place. No good, no evil. Just a system of existence older than any language that ever appeared. And the question is not which species is the most dangerous, but what would happen if one link in this system disappeared? Dawn over the Grumeti River, early daylight paints the murky water surface golden. Thin mist rises, landscape quiet. Even a small movement becomes obvious. On the sandbar, overnight traces tell what happened. Footprints going into water, then returning, but also streaks going only one way. The river is the only water source in dry season, but also the boundary between life and death. This morning's flat surface guarantees nothing about what's below. On the other side of burnt grassland, hundreds of wildebeest advance toward the riverbank. Red dust rolling with footsteps, low calls echoing far, thirst forcing them to approach despite risks. They're Africa's largest migratory species. With millions of individuals moving seasonally, the river becomes the most dangerous challenge on the journey. Bodies adapted to grasslands, long legs for running, curved horns for goring, but underwater they lose advantage and become vulnerable. In dry season, the herd must drink water daily, no other choice. Thirst draws them to the riverbank, though always knowing danger hides below. The herd stops about 10 meters from shore, intently observing the water surface. No one dares step forward first, because instinct warns pioneers rarely return. Thirst overwhelms fear. A large male steps down first, water rising from hooves to knees. It lowers, head drinking hurriedly. Each second head down is a second losing vigilance. Seeing the male safe, the entire herd moves closer. Vigilance quickly decreases as thirst overwhelms, creating the most dangerous moment. Less than 4 meters from shore, two pairs of eyes have been waiting. Motionless, patient, they track each step, waiting for prey to enter inescapable distance. Prey in range, the male lowers head to drink, muzzle touches water. Less than 2 meters from crocodile jaws, countdown begins before the attack. To understand the danger right before eyes, one must look at the creature hiding at the bottom since before dawn. Species virtually unchanged for 200 million years because the design was perfect from the start. Nile crocodile, reaching 5 meters long, weighing over 700 kilograms. Bite force, exceeding 3,700 pounds per square inch. Strongest among all animals living on Earth today. Its tactic is lying motionless, lowering heart rate, conserving energy, waiting for prey to approach on its own, then lunging extremely fast, locking jaws and dragging underwater. After locking jaws, crocodiles perform the death roll, spinning body to tear prey. If not dead yet, it drags deep down, letting water complete the rest. This morning, the male wildebeest lowering head is only 2 meters from crocodile jaws. Sensory organs help it receive vibrations, determining prey position without needing to see yet. Only 1 meter remains. Crocodile tightens tail, parts jaws, while wildebeest lowers for one more final gulp, completely unaware that's the last peaceful moment. Water surface explodes. Crocodile lunges up, clamping tight on prey's head. Tremendous bite force locks rigid, heavy body, jerking wildebeest down into the water. Herd panics, running upshore, dust billowing thick. Only the trapped male held head underwater, 4 legs thrashing hopelessly, cries choked between mud and waves. Crocodile begins death roll, body coiling underwater, but wildebeest still resists, hind legs gripping bottom, trying to hold against violent spinning force. The spin isn't strong enough to bring down large prey. Crocodile changes tactics, stops spinning, and drags wildebeest toward deep water, where legs can't touch bottom and all advantages vanish. Wildebeest resists fiercely, hind legs kicking bottom, maintaining position. Head gripped, but body still above water surface. Each second still breathing is each second nurturing hope of life. Adrenaline surges. Wildebeest jerks hard, pulling crocodile towards shallow water. Nearly escaping at times, head surfaces, eyes wide open, gasping breaths echoing amid the water. But crocodile won't release. Jaws locked tight, begins pulling back. Wildebeest slips footing, loses grip point, gradually dragged back to deep area. The tug of war tilts toward water. Water rises to neck, then to head. Everything ends when legs no longer touch bottom. Wildebeest dragged under, river surface quickly returns to flat calm. On shore, wildebeest herd stands silently watching the river surface. No calls, only eyes fixed on where their kind just disappeared. Heavy atmosphere enveloping. Underwater, crocodile drags carcass to deep area, securing to tree roots. It doesn't eat immediately, but lets prey soak for days to soften, then tears gradually. The river just took a life, but the entire herd's thirst remains unchanged. And the Grumeti River is the only water source within 20 kilometers radius. 2 hours later, the herd returns to riverbank, steps slower, keeping distance farther. No one dares lower head drinking too long, though thirst still urges. They take turns drinking water. A few lower down, the rest vigilantly observe. Each small ripple also makes the whole group flinch back warily. Below water surface, another crocodile has positioned, smaller and lying close to shore. Blood scent from the previous attack still spreading, silently attracting more predators. Water surface explodes again. Crocodile lunges up close to shore. Jaws snap down, nearly hitting wildebeest's leg, but misses, making entire herd rush up shore in chaos. No one caught, but the attack shows the river isn't safe at any distance. Crocodiles control even the water's edge, where the safety boundary is thinner than wildebeest thought. Herd stops 50 meters from river, breathing heavily, eyes glued to water surface. Thirst unresolved, midday sun rising high, making dehydration increase rapidly. Another half hour passes. Thirst again defeats fear. Herd advances toward river, choosing new position 100 meters further upstream, where bank is gentler and water shallower. They don't know crocodiles also move. Beneath murky surface, they silently drift, following herd upstream, like invisible shadows. Herd begins drinking. Only a few go down to water's edge. The rest stand guard. A female steps deeper, seeking clearer water, inadvertently advancing exactly into crocodile ambush position. The largest crocodile lunges up, jaws locked tight on female wildebeest's neck. Fatal position near blood vessels. Bite force piercing through skin and flesh, holding prey unable to escape. Tug of war begins. Female wildebeest's legs still touch bottom. It kicks hard, trying to pull crocodile back towards the shore. Because only losing footing, all advantages will vanish. Battle lasts in over 4 minutes, rare with crocodiles. Female wildebeest still resists, continuously kicking, pulling, and keeping head above water to breathe. second crocodile suddenly appears from behind, biting the rear. Two pulling forces in opposite directions make prey torn between heavy bodies. Wildebeest still resists, but third crocodile charges in, biting near head. Three directions, pulling simultaneously, make it lose footing and drag completely off river bottom. Female wildebeest dragged under. Water surface churns then settles, foam spreading long with current, closing the battle as river swallows another life. Blood scent spreading in water attracts more crocodiles. 5, 6, then 7 heads emerge, converging on one point. Wildebeest carcass becomes collective feast, uninvited. On shore, wildebeest herd stands silently watching the reddened river surface. No signal needed, they understand. Then turn backs, leaving, abandoning this water point to find elsewhere. Grumeti River always flows, crocodiles present everywhere, no safe place, only places not yet attacked, and herds still must drink before dark. That's the law. To live must drink, to drink must come to river. Each approach is accepting risk, trading between thirst and life. Evening descends, water surface returns to calm. Midday traces swept away, vultures circle but don't descend, because the river has kept everything. Underwater, well-fed crocodiles lie scattered, heart rate slows. They can fast long, but still wait, following millions of years of survival instinct. Upstream, herd finds shallow section to drink. They only lower quickly for seconds, then retreat. Drinking style carrying survival nature, no more peace. Each attack deepens instinct. Next generation will fear water more, drink faster, keep distance farther, increasing survival chances through passed down memory. And crocodiles also evolve. Next generation more patient, lying closer to shore, waiting longer, because prey increasingly vigilant, and only the most patient can hunt. Dusk covers Grumeti. Water shifts from blue to deep red, this time from skylight. But that beauty conceals danger as light gradually weakens. Wildebeest herd retreats deep into grassland, resting at night, sleeping standing vigilantly. Tomorrow morning, when thirst returns, they'll hesitate before the river again and step down again. In nature, life always comes with trade-offs. Wildebeest need water, crocodiles need prey, and the river connects these two needs in daily survival loop. Night blankets Grumeti. Frog calls echo along shore. Hippos call amid stream. Water surface shifts to another world where new dangers continue unfolding. On river bottom, crocodiles lie motionless, conserving energy. Though resting, sensory organs still operate, ready to react to any vibration. Night wind blows along Grumeti. Water surface ripples lightly under moon. Blood traces washed clean, sandbar flat and calm. By morning, no traces remain of what occurred. Moon rises high, river still flows as for millions of years. Water surface flat, calm, beautiful, and inviting. But the question each prey must answer each morning remains unchanged. Drink or not drink, live or not live. Midday sun blankets the plains. Heat makes the air shimmer slightly. No breeze, no cloud shadows. only silence stretching to the horizon. Amid the grassland, a zebra herd grazes, occasionally raising heads vigilantly, then lowering again. Peace here is always the most suspicious signal. Not far away, amid this uniform yellow grass sea, an anomalous form blends completely into the environment, motionless and nearly impossible to recognize. That's a lioness, lying flat less than 5 meters from prey. On the plains, the most dangerous thing isn't the echoing roar, but the silence. Africa isn't where the strongest rule, but where the best hidden survive. Biological camouflage is the supreme weapon of assassins. Lions are large cats living in prides, but most hunting activity belongs to females, individuals who directly approach and bring down targets. Tawny fur is the result of natural selection, helping the body blend into grass, minimizing risk of detection before attack. When approaching prey, lionesses lower their bodies flat to grass level, moving extremely slowly, just enough not to create clear movement signals to prey. And they always approach against the wind, keeping body scent behind. This is technique accumulated through many hunts, not just simple reflex. Pack hunting turns them into perfect coordination machines. One group blocks ahead, one group chases, forcing prey to charge straight into ambush. Lionesses have been in position since before dawn. The zebra herd is very close, but doesn't detect them. The invisible encirclement has closed, waiting for the activation moment. An individual separates from the herd, stepping into the gap between two ambush positions. Yellow eyes track each footstep of prey. Claws press lightly into ground. Lions from behind accelerate, forcing prey to run in predetermined direction. Escape reflex actually leads it into more dangerous territory. Individuals ahead simultaneously lunge out, blocking direction and closing in. The entire sequence unfolds in seconds, ending an ambush prepared over many hours. The zebra herd scatters and retreats. Lionesses stop. Target achieved. On the plains, initial distance matters more than final speed. But lionesses aren't the only assassins. When evening descends, another predator begins activity. A solitary hunter even lions are wary of. Leopards are masters of camouflage. Spotted coat not only helps hide, but also breaks up body outline, making prey struggle to recognize shape. In complex lighting conditions, this mechanism allows predators to be present right before eyes without being detected in time. Operating mainly at dusk and night, it exploits darkness plus soft paw pads to move with almost no sound. And leopards can drag prey heavier than their body up trees, turning canopies into safe dining places beyond reach of other species. Unlike pride-living lions, leopards hunt alone. Solitude helps reduce sound and signs, maintaining absolute advantage of surprise. This evening, an antelope stands under a tree base, head lowered, grazing. Its reflex scans both sides but completely ignores overhead. On high branches, the leopard lies motionless, observing and calculating. Everything stops at a moment, waiting for prey to step exactly into approach range. The antelope doesn't realize at all. Above, the leopard lowers itself. Claws grip tree bark. Muscles compress like springs, then release. The leopard lunges down. Front legs seize the antelope's neck. Jaws lock tight upon touching ground, making prey unable to react. In only a short time, the leopard drags prey up the tree and disappears into the canopy, erasing all traces on the ground. Lions disappear along the ground plane. Leopards disappear vertically, but both are still limited by the ground, while another danger exists where prey must approach. The Okavango region's largest river enters migration season. Thousands of wildebeest gather at the bank, hesitating before the calm water surface, where death hides invisibly. Nile crocodile, reaching 5 meters long, weighing 700 kilograms. Right now, almost absent. Only eyes and nose protruding, the rest blending into murky watercolor. Rough gray-brown skin, matching river mud, helps it hide completely. It lies motionless for hours, waiting for prey to step into attack range. Bite force over 3,500 pounds per square inch, strongest in the animal kingdom. And reaction speed occurs so fast, prey cannot respond. Thousands of wildebeest begin flooding into water surface churning chaotically. They must wade across, though knowing each step carries risk. Water surface suddenly explodes. Crocodile jaws clamp tight on the nearest wildebeest's hind leg, then drag prey, disappearing into the water in seconds of silence. Multiple attack points occur in short time, breaking formation. Pressure increases as individuals struggle to escape the water area. Individuals reaching shore stop to look back at the gradually stabilizing river surface. Only stillness remaining, concealing death below. Three assassins, three different camouflage types. When placed in the same ecosystem, we see three completely separate strategies. Lionesses camouflage horizontally, blending into grass and using pack coordination to drive prey into kill zones. Leopards camouflage multidimensionally, exploiting tree canopies and patterns to erase body outlines, controlling both ground level and heights. Nile crocodiles camouflage absolutely, hiding underwater, patiently waiting for prey to step into range. Their common point, not relying on speed but on patience, camouflage, and ability to shorten distance until prey cannot react. But on the Okavango savanna, the three assassins' territories often overlap. The same zebra herd can face all three in one day. Prey maintain continuous vigilance. Head down, eating for seconds, then raising to check. But when opponents have camouflaged, detection becomes uncertain. And that's precisely the survival paradox. Evolution enhances prey senses, while simultaneously optimizing predator concealment ability. Evening descends on Okavango. Zebras who survived the morning ambush are advancing toward the riverbank, slower, more vigilant, and no longer separating from the herd. They stop far from shore, a few lower to sniff grass, then immediately raise heads. Morning's lesson still imprinted in reflexes. The lead individual advances first, scanning river surface and both banks, checking even the dangerous upper layer before stepping forward, only then allowing the entire herd to advance. The zebra herd drinks in rotation rhythm, half with heads down, the other half observing. No longer moments when the entire herd loses vigilance. Below water, crocodiles have positioned, but distance is kept farther than usual, conditions insufficient for effective strikes. The herd leaves the bank immediately after drinking, not lingering. Quick decision helps reduce time exposed in risk zone. They stop to rest on high ground, standing in a circle, eyes facing all directions. New vigilance behavior formed after just one morning. In sparse forest, an African rock python lies motionless, coiled under a rotten tree trunk. Body pattern blends into tree bark, camouflage based on shape and color. Or a black mamba slides on tree branches, blending into dry branch color, so fast and silent only detected when already too close. And on the dry grassland surface, an African chameleon is changing color to match environment, continuously transforming to blend with surrounding background. On the African plains, every spatial layer has those hiding, all operating in silence. The zebra herd stands on high mound, choosing open place to rest at night. Long visibility, few concealment points, minimizing ambush risk. Evolution doesn't favor the noisy, but favors those controlling appearance timing. Right moment, close enough, and effective. But it also rewards memory. After morning's loss, the zebra herd is vigilant enough to survive the afternoon by the river, where crocodiles cannot strike. Night blankets Okavango in 3 spatial layers. Countless predators are lurking, and countless prey are moving in the same system, repeating a cycle existing very long. And the question each prey on the plains faces daily isn't, are there predators here? Because the answer is always yes. The real question, the life or death question, is much simpler. In grass, in trees, or below water, right now, where is it? Seen from above, Komodo Island appears as a strip of dry brown land amid blue water, where cracked rock and scorched yellow grass shimmer under midday heat waves. Beneath low scrub, a Komodo dragon nearly 3 meters long lies with gray-black scales reflecting the sun, eyes half closed, but a body that has never truly rested. The Komodo's hunt begins with an extraordinary sense of smell, its forked tongue continuously sampling the air and building a scent map across the roof of its mouth. This morning, the Komodo follows a scent trail through dry brush, stepping slowly and evenly toward a Timor deer grazing in an open clearing. When the distance narrows to just a few meters, the Komodo presses itself flat, nearly 3 meters of camouflage against brown rock, while the deer raises its head and looks the other way, unaware of the danger closing in. Then the giant lizard suddenly lunges, clamping onto the prey's hind leg, its serrated teeth tearing through flesh and driving saliva, containing tissue-destroying proteins and anticoagulants deep into the wound. The deer wrenches free and limps away, while the Komodo simply stands and waits as the compounds in its saliva begin to impair the wound's ability to clot effectively. The Komodo slowly follows the scent trail of blood across hot rock and dry grass, because its hunt is measured not in minutes, but in hours. 2 hours later, the deer moves more slowly, its legs swollen and red, its eyes glazed. The bite wound is inflamed by unclotting blood, the body steadily drained of strength under the midday sun. The Komodo steps gradually closer to the exhausted prey as the swollen red legs can no longer carry it away from the gray shadow pressing ever nearer. Serrated teeth clamp deep into the injured leg, tearing through soft tissue until the deer convulses a few final times and goes still beneath the blazing sun. The Komodo begins tearing into the softest section of the belly, swallowing large chunks of flesh as the scent of fresh blood quickly spreads far on the hot wind, radiating across the island. And that scent does not only draw other Komodo dragons. From the scrub not far away, a long, dark brown body glides slowly through dry leaves, moving toward the deer carcass. A spitting cobra, nearly 2 meters long, gradually raises the front of its body in response to the unfamiliar creature appearing in its territory. The Komodo immediately stops feeding, its tongue flickering continuously to read the scent, then slowly turns its head and advances toward the snake rearing up on the hot ground. The cobra spreads its hood wide and issues a threat display. The Komodo shifts its angle of approach, avoiding driving straight at the opponent's most dangerous section. The cobra strikes, but its fangs cannot penetrate the thick neck scales. The instant the snake's body is fully extended, the Komodo clamps onto the midsection. The snake coils back up around the Komodo's neck. The giant lizard shakes violently and repeatedly to break the grip before the snake can tighten its hold further. On the most forceful lunge, the cobra's head slams against the hard rock surface, causing the coil to loosen, giving the Komodo the opening it needs to take full control. The snake weakens rapidly. The Komodo begins stretching its throat wide, gradually pulling the prey's body downward. On this arid island, no piece of flesh goes to waste. It settles to rest, eyes closed with a stretched bellyful. But on this island, being full does not mean being safe. On Komodo Island, the venom lies in the saliva. But in the tropical forest on the other side of the Pacific, there is a creature that carries its weapon directly in its fangs, and it is no larger than a human hand. In the tropical forests of Brazil, a wandering spider covered in brown hair moves slowly across a layer of fallen leaves, heading toward a small lizard clinging beside a tree root. The lizard detects the danger and immediately flees across the damp forest floor. But the eight-legged spider accelerates and maintains close pursuit even as the prey changes direction. When the distance is close enough, the spider rears up its front body and lunges forward, its fangs driving into the prey and rapidly delivering venom into the body. The venom spreads quickly, causing the lizard to convulse violently for a few seconds before all muscles seize and it goes still on the damp fallen leaves. The spider does not chew its prey. It secretes digestive enzymes to break down soft tissue into liquid form, then draws the nutrients back into its body through its curved fangs. Leaving the dried carcass on the leaf litter, it continues roaming through the forest with fangs always ready for the next hunt, requiring no fixed shelter. But venom does not only exist in tropical forests or on hot islands. Even in the most arid places on the planet, creatures carry an extremely potent chemical weapon. In the semi-desert of the Middle East, a death stalker lies beneath a hot rock with its curved tail poised. A scorpion that possesses one of the most powerful venoms in the world. When the ground cools slightly, the scorpion slowly crawls out, using the extraordinarily sensitive sensory hairs across its body to read the vibrations traveling through the sand. A cricket stands motionless on dry ground, and from the barely perceptible vibrations transmitted through the earth, the death stalker has already rotated its body toward the exact direction of the prey. The stinger drives down at extreme speed before the cricket can react, the venom taking effect immediately. The prey seizes and goes still on the hot sand. Just about 7 centimeters long, the Deathstalker scorpion still possesses extremely potent venom, demonstrating that small size does not equal low danger. It quickly consumes the prey, then continues moving across the dry sand with its tail always raised and ready. Each different environment produces different hunting strategies, where saliva, venomous fangs, or a stinger each become a survival tool for the predator. The Brazilian wandering spider with its prey, fangs delivering venom, mouth secreting digestive enzymes. While the Deathstalker needs only one highly concentrated drop of venom to bring down prey many times its own size. Different strategies, but all built on the same foundation, venom, refined by evolution to suit each specific habitat and hunting style. On the island, the Komodo lies in the rock's shadow with a stretched belly full and will not feed again for many weeks. But the tongue still collects scent samples from the wind. In the tropical forest of Brazil and across the arid land, other hunters have also returned to a state of waiting. A single small vibration is all it takes to trigger the next hunt. Ants carry the carcasses away, and the bodies brought down by venom will continue to nourish the soil. The soil will nourish the grass will nourish the deer, and the deer will nourish the Komodo. But even predators were once prey. On Komodo Island, young Komodo dragons often climb trees to avoid adult individuals that hunt their own kind. On Komodo Island, another Timor deer steps across the very same clearing. And not far ahead, a hunter's eyes have already locked onto its every footfall. Wind sweeps across different territories, carrying away footprints and bloodstains. But the bones left behind are still signals that predators read in their own way. Venom carriers leave no traces. They leave only the empty space where the prey once stood and the silence that arrives too quickly in the wild. The sun still pours down on hot ground. The forest still holds its moisture, and the arid lands still burn. Somewhere close to the surface, another hunt is quietly beginning. A small vibration travels through sand, dry leaf, or bare earth, and somewhere on this planet, a creature has just entered a predator's range without knowing it. Sand surface temperature has exceeded 60 degrees. Air bent, turning everything distant into mirages flowing blurred on the horizon. Yellow scorpion seeks shade, nestling into rock crevice to avoid sun. Outside, under high-temperature rocks begin cracking from thermal expansion. Heat presses down on Sonoran like invisible weight. Owl hides in tree trunk, avoiding sun. Under thornbush, jackrabbit presses flat to ground, dilating blood vessels in ears to radiate heat. But beneath scorching sand layer, ground surface shifts slightly. Horned lizard emerges, dusting sand with transparent eyelids before stepping into heat level. All other species are avoiding. It possesses osteoderm armor layer, helping adapt to harsh heat. Red ants crawl across nose and head spikes, while its body not yet warm enough to react. Tongue flicks out extremely fast, rolling up each ant, then swallowing whole. On dessert, energy-conserving hunting strategy, more important than pursuit speed. Horned lizard walks, and at cholla bush edge, another movement appears. Small burrow entrance stirs. Two long whiskers poke out, sensing ground vibrations. Desert mouse stands motionless before burrow entrance, only ears continuously rotating, detecting sounds. After seconds of vigilance, it finally steps into dangerous open space. Long hind legs help it leap far and change direction instantly. It dashes between mesquite bushes, exposing itself on bare sand surface. It's searching for seeds, but never losing vigilance about surrounding environment. For desert rodents, danger typically comes from above. Above, two golden eagles glide on thermal currents, barely needing to flap wings. They've appeared since ground began absorbing heat. With vision 8 times human, plus talons creating grip force over 2,800 pounds per square inch. Golden eagle has locked tight on small brown dot between two bushes right when it left burrow. Eagle tilts wings, adjusting descent trajectory, calculating wind and prey's running direction. Wrong angle causes failure and wastes energy on dessert. On ground, mouse detects round shadow advancing on sand. Immediately flees, changing direction, lunging toward a rock maze instead of running straight to familiar burrow. Eagle talons stab into sand where mouse just stood. It watches prey. Mouse continues running, carrying first trace, opening hunting signal. Mouse rushes into maze of stacked granite rocks, making eagle unable to approach. Shade reduces heat significantly, but this terrain is also shelter for other predator species. Rock rattlesnake has necrotic venom. Thanks to heat pit, it detects mouse through very small temperature difference before seeing and begins rattling tail. Mouse freezes. Ahead is snake. Behind is eagle. But instead of panicking, it calculates escape chance when snake strikes and misses, needing about 3 seconds to coil back. Opportunity will open. Mouse creates vibration, stimulating snake to strike first. When strike lunges forward, it leaps sideways, then passes through narrow gap in very short time. Right then, eagle lunges into rock gap following mouse direction. Large movement brings it into defense reflex range of agitated snake. Snake launches second strike. Fangs only graze eagle's chest feathers, forcing predator to spring back out, yielding rock maze to true owner. Mouse escapes maze from west side. It breathes heavily, legs beginning to feel heavy. Ahead is bare sand plain, but behind is pursuing eagle. Two eagles coordinate above. One forces direction, the other waits ready at strike angle, creating pincer position, leading mouse right into attack trajectory. Cactus branch makes it slip slightly, but it still struggles to keep running, driven into talon range, diving down from about 30 meters height. Just as the talons were about to make contact, the mouse spotted the hollow skull. Its hind legs kicked off, and it changed direction, diving straight in and vanishing as the talons snapped shut over the top of the cranium. The skull creates a natural shelter. The narrow eye sockets prevent the eagle's beak from reaching deep inside, while the bone layer keeps the temperature significantly lower than the open sand. Eagle perches on skull, continuously pecking into open gaps, but mouse still lies deep inside skull cavity. Tug of war between desert's strongest and hollow skull begins. 5 minutes. Sun scorches sand surface, but skull remains cool thanks to heat reflection and light convection. Meanwhile, eagle must continuously shift feet to force mouse to run out. After 10 minutes, one perched on cactus begins losing patience, scanning for other targets, while the other pecks one last time, but still powerless before skull. Finally, eagles fly away in turn, abandoning energy-draining hunt, leaving skull in desert midst with mouse still alive inside. Mouse pokes whiskers from eye socket, checking vibrations and shadows on sand, then crawls out, dusts sand from fur, and runs to nearest burrow. Escape ends. By reflexes faster than eagle talons, body twist making snake miss strike, and a hollow skull lying right where no one expected. Eagles have ascended high again, and eyes still scanning. From afar, they detect new movement racing fast among cactus bushes. Zebra-tailed lizard, running at 30 kilometers per hour speed, black-white stripes bobbing. Being pursued by collared lizard, specialist eating smaller kindred, chasing behind. Collared lizard, with large head and powerful jaw force, completely focused on prey ahead, not at all recognizing predator shadow marked on sand. Zebra-tailed lizard dives underground. Pursuer behind stops in open area. It halts observing but doesn't see prey anywhere. Above, eagle has locked target early, waiting for exact moment lizard stops in open ground to dive from most advantageous attack angle. Collared lizard hears wind whistle behind, but reacts slowly. Body too hot, after chase making legs lose half speed. 2 meters become unreachable distance. Eagle talons clamp tight around lizard body and lift it from sand surface. Amid open space, with no rock gaps or shelter, all escape chances vanish. Eagle carries prey flying to nest on large cactus tree, while zebra-tailed lizard silently stays under sand, surviving by being faster than what once hunted it. Eagle perches on cactus tree feeding its young. Lost small mouse but gained larger prey instead. Enough one meal for its offspring. Desert food chain continues operating. Seeds feed mouse, insects feed lizard, lizard feeds eagle. Then decomposing carcass returns nutrients to soil and plants. Horned lizard lies pressed on warm rock after eating enough ants. Bone armor layer protects body, while blood squirting ability helps drive away many predator species. In cool burrow, mouse is moving, thanks to extremely efficient water concentrating kidney system, helping it live almost without needing to drink water amid arid desert. Rattlesnake still coiled. Slow metabolism helps it fast many days, waiting for temperature to drop, then begins night hunting with heat pit. Dusk touches Sonoran. Sunlight gradually shifts to orange-red, while desert rocks begin radiating heat, absorbed throughout the long day. Desert changes shifts. Horned lizard prepares to bury itself in sand. Eagle stops hunting. Scorpion leaves rock crevice, and mouse pokes whiskers out burrow entrance again. Now is safest time. Rattlesnake crawls from maze, continuously flicking tongue and scanning heat. Where once was daytime shelter, now becomes nighttime hunting ground. Sonoran Desert spans over 300,000 square kilometers. With extreme temperature range, creatures here must adapt to daytime heat or nighttime cold to survive. Each species carries unique survival strategy, but all adaptations have limits. No one is perfect, only the most suitable. Life here must always face the harshest trials. Every day that passes is a relentless battle to survive. It seems as though only the strongest could hold on. But sometimes, it is the smallest creatures that do the extraordinary. And this is their story. The Sahara sand surface reaches over 60 degrees at midday. No creature dares venture out, except for tiny silver specks darting about on nimble legs. Those are silver ants, appearing only when the desert is at its most brutal. When every predator has retreated beneath the sand, they begin their brief race against time. Within just a few minutes, they sweep up every insect carcass on the surface, then vanish back into the earth. The desert surface is bare under the sun again, not a movement. But the Sahara is not dead. Beneath that scorched sand, countless eyes are still waiting for the temperature to drop before stepping out to hunt. Under a dune, inside a burrow far cooler than the surface, a creature waits for the heat to recede. At the burrow entrance, two pointed tips rise just above the sea of sand. The smallest fox in the world, the fennec carries the largest ears of any canine, catching the faintest sounds while helping the body shed heat. When the afternoon sun softens, it slowly opens its eyes. The ears turn slowly, listening for any movement, while the nose continuously tests the wind for news carried from far away. Finding the area around the burrow still quiet, it steps outside. The thick fur beneath its paws insulates the body from the residual heat still rising from the ground. The fox moves along the slope of a dune in the cooling afternoon light. Both ears keep shifting direction, filtering for faint sounds rising from beneath the sand. Suddenly, it stops. Both ears point to the same spot ahead, where a scorpion is digging through the shallow sand below. The fox lunges, drives its muzzle into the sand, and digs it up. Seconds later, the scorpion is flung out. One bite behind the tail neutralizes the stinger. Then the jaws crunch through the hard shell. But one tiny scorpion barely touches a hungry belly. It moves along the base of a dune, searching for the next meal as dusk settles in. 10 minutes later, a mole cricket and a beetle are pulled from the sand. The dunes that lay silent all through the midday heat are now quietly alive with signs of life. The fox pauses on a sand mound, drawing in the passing wind. Then it stiffens, carried on. The breeze is a scent both familiar and alarming. About 300 meters away, a gray shape is moving steadily along a dune ridge. It is a striped hyena, one of the Sahara's most well-known opportunistic scavengers. Not as fast as the spotted hyena, but carrying an exceptionally sensitive nose. And right now, that nose has just caught the scent of the small fox. Now it is a contest of two senses across the desert wind. One listening for footsteps, the other tracking by scent. And both know the other is closing in. Instead of fleeing, the fox chooses to hide right in front of its enemy. It presses its body as flat as it can, ears pinned back, its sand-colored coat quickly dissolving into the desert surface. The hyena follows the scent trail. The distance keeps narrowing, but ahead there is nothing but sand and more sand. The nose says the prey is right here. The eyes see nothing. The hyena is now just 50 meters away. Then a scorpion crawls past right against the fox's muzzle. The unexpected contact makes it flinch. Both ears lift off the sand surface. That alone is enough to break the camouflage. The hyena snaps its head around. What its nose had been tracking has just appeared right before its eyes. The footsteps immediately quicken. The fox springs upright and bolts down the slope of the dune, its small light body moving as though skimming across the surface. Behind it, the hyena gives chase. Heavier, each stride sinking deeper with every step. The pursuit stretches across one dune slope after another. The fox keeps changing direction. Its compact body makes each turn easy, while the hyena has to recover its momentum after every swerve. The gap gradually widens. The desert does not favor the larger or the stronger. It favors whoever is best adapted to the sand underfoot. But the hyena does not give up. Hunger makes it more stubborn than usual. A fox, however small, is a meal worth expending effort for on the sand. By the third minute, the fox's breathing is coming in rapid bursts. The small body is heating up, every breath carrying away a little more of its precious limited moisture. Worse, across the open sandfield, there is nowhere dense enough to hide. The fox has no choice but to keep running, while the hyena presses closer with every stride, each lunge just about to close on it. And the direction changes have slowed. The distance shrinks with every beat. For the first time, the hyena sees the prey within reach. Just as the pursuit is about to be decided, an enormous shadow suddenly sweeps across the sand, and a third hunter has entered the game. The newcomer is the pharaoh eagle owl, the largest owl in North Africa. A wingspan of more than 1 meter, soft-edged feathers cutting through the air without a sound. Those enormous amber eyes take in every movement below. To the owl, both fox and hyena are prey, and it has already locked on to the smaller target. The owl dives, talons driving straight toward the small back. But the fox's ears catch the faintest sound of displaced air. It dodges sideways just before the talons make contact. Missing the fox, those sharp talons seize the hyena driving just behind. The hyena shudders and cries out in pain. And in the chaos, the fox has already broken away. But the hyena is not shaken. Ignoring the owl above, it pours every remaining ounce of effort into one target, each frantic stride eating up the distance. This time, the fox cannot dodge in time. The jaws lunge forward and clamp into the hind body. The fox cries out, struggling desperately, but the grip only tightens. At that exact moment of life and death, a shadow crashes down from above again. The owl driving in to contest the catch. The hyena recoils in alarm, its jaws involuntarily loosening for an instant. The fox seizes that moment, tears itself free, and drives down the dune slope, rolling onto the sand. Reaching the base of the dune, it trembles into the shelter of a sand mound and goes completely still. Above, the hyena is still searching, but the pursuit has cost too much. After a few futile sniffs at the wind, it finally turns and leaves with nothing. The fox stays motionless, not daring to stir, until its ears can no longer pick up a single footfall. Only then does it slowly raise its head, eyes darting across the sand in every direction. The fox steps out of hiding, exhausted and parched. It stands on the sand, draws in the wind, senses quiet in every direction. The hyena has gone, but the sky has not. Because the pharaoh eagle owl does not give up as easily as the hyena. It has been perched on a rock outcrop nearby, amber eyes locked onto the fox's hiding spot, waiting for exactly this moment. Now there is no more hyena, no more chaotic pursuit to take advantage of. Only the solitary fox and a hunter silently descending from behind. The fox's ears still catch the warning, but this time, the exhausted body has betrayed it. Before it can dodge, the talons have already locked down onto the small back. The owl beats its wings and rises, carrying its prey in its talons. The hyena trudges away with an empty belly, and the fox remains in the sand forever. When everything settles, the desert cools and the earth stirs quietly. From beneath the layers of sand, small creatures emerge one by one, resuming the familiar rhythm of life. In this place, there is no absolute victory. The hyena spent itself and came away with nothing. The fox escaped one threat only to fall to another. And the final share always belongs to the one that knows how to wait. Tomorrow morning, when the first ray of light touches the sand, another fox will push its ears above the burrow entrance. It too will dart out, hunt for food, and begin the same cycle of hunting in a new day. That is the largest desert on the planet, where life has never been something to take for granted. Here, surviving one more day is already a victory.